Welcome everyone to Religion and Society for fall semester 2015. I'm your professor Matthew Irvin. I'd like to take a few minutes and go over the class website, syllabus and so forth, and just to get you familiarized with how we're going to be working here. Notice that there are three columns: news, which there's nothing in. I'll be populating it with news later, or content browser here. This middle column is very important. It has the locations for our working modules for every class and a calendar of upcoming events. Notice the class starts at August 17th at 12:01 a.m. All modules are going to be starting just at 12:01 a.m. on Mondays and ending at 11:59 p.m. on Sundays. But let's take a look first of all at our first module, Module 1. Okay, that says Module 1, start here, getting started. Okay, and we're going to look here at Week 1. Click here, Week 1, and it will take you to Module 1. Every module in this class, including this first module, will have a number of different components that we need to be aware of. And Module 1 is no different. The first one will be student learning objectives for Module 1. Okay. The second, which is kind of a list of what to do, a to-do list, will be a module activity checklist. And we're going to go through this. We're going to work through this one. Required content, it'll tell you what to do. And then what to do next section, which will kind of give you a way forward in the class. So let's look through this module activity checklist. Well, first of all, if you're reviewing this introductory video, then congratulations, you've successfully completed number 1. Now let's review the syllabus. I've embedded here in this a link to every component that you'll be needing to work with in the module activity checklist for each module, and this one's no different. Let's take a look at the syllabus and go through that for a moment. All right. Let's scan down. First, you'll see my email, mirvin4@kennesaw.edu. This is how you communicate directly with me. This is also, you must communicate through the Desire to Learn website. Okay. Next, we see a series of links. This is a master link for which will take you to some very useful student resources for online learning. Tech support, Desire to Learn, and so forth. Let's take a look at tech support here. It takes you down here. You have a browser checker, and so forth, and then you can also get help directly from the student help desk, the IT desk. They're very useful. Often I don't know the answer. I go to them myself. They will be able to get you straight and usually solve your problem for you. Okay. All right. And I've done a how to navigating online support site video. Okay, so if you have a specific question for IT, you can email them there. We have a catalog description, and I'll call your attention. Please take a few minutes and read a brief overview of this course. Course prerequisites: you need to have taken Social 1101 or ANT 1102. And here are the resources and materials for this class. Let's take a look at this Pew Religious Forum. If I go down here and I click this, notice nothing happens. Oh, what is this, a broken link? No, what we have to do is, what you would then do is you go up here to the top, click here, and it says there's a shield or a lock or something, and it'll say Firefox is blocking the content on this page. What you have to do is disable the protection. Okay? And what that does is it allows me to open up that course. Okay, and so I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to go, I'm going to click here, and this will take you to the Pew Religious Forum website. Very pretty. Religious landscape study. If you've landed on this page, you're in the right place. We are going to be working extensively with these links here, you know, as we progress through the class. They're going to provide us a wellspring of information and data, which you're going to be interpreting and using to explore the topic of religion in society. Okay, so let's go back here. We'll go back to the syllabus as we're working through it. Okay. And so a few other key points. Many of our videos are in Flash and require a program like iTunes or Real Player. Please keep this in mind as you people have a propensity to use iPhones or iPads. You cannot use them unless you have a Flash installation, you know, for this course. Usually that means you can't rely on an iPad or an iPhone solely. You have to have at least a tablet computer, a desktop, or a laptop that runs Flash. Please take a moment and review these student learning objectives. Now, to reading, discussion, exam, and assignment schedule. You'll be evaluated on a criterion that total up to 100 points. Discussion posts, there's 6 of them at 4 points each. Short written assignments at 5 points each, 40 points, and 2 exams at 18 points each, for a total of 100 points. A grading scale. Okay, you're expected to log into each module and participate at least twice weekly. For attendance, you're going to have 2 weeks for Module 1. Okay, for Modules 2 through 14, including tests and reviews, you have 1 week to complete each module. Note that the module that falls during Thanksgiving break, you'll have an extra 3 days. Please see the course calendar. Late work will be penalized 1 point for each week it is late, and after 3 weeks you'll receive no credit, a 0 for late assignments, and your work will be graded within 1 week of the due date. Please review academic integrity, ADA compliance, student success, student development, and ESL links. Of great importance to this class is Netiquette. Let's talk a little bit about what Netiquette is, right? And this takes us to a wonderful site. It talks about, it's the Netiquette homepage. It tells you about the core rules of Netiquette. I'd like you to take a few minutes of reviewing Netiquette. In this class, we're going to be talking about rather controversial subjects. People have strongly held beliefs. Some people have no beliefs at all. Our point here is an exploratory and analytical one. So let's keep this in mind and try to keep make sure that our discourse is a civil one. Okay. Back here. Okay. So the next element of the class is going to be in the syllabus that is going to be, that's important to you, is going to be the assignment and discussion due date schedule. Notice that these are learning activities, written or discussions, and it'll tell you the dates. Okay. Again, usually they're a week long. Some of them are not. You see down here, Module 14. The last module you have a little extra time for, and their tests, test reviews. Okay, so that's the syllabus. Let's go back up and work through our module activity checklist again here. Okay. Okay, again, this is we've already done this. We've looked at the electronic resource index website here. And so what I want to do now is to review grading rubrics for discussion. The grading rubric for discussion is one of two kinds of grading rubrics we have, because we have written and discussion type assignments. So let's take a minute and look at a grading rubric template for the discussion here. Discussion grading rubric, all discussions are graded. You get 1 point, out of 4 for classmate responses. 1 point, if you earn the full point, means you referred to 2 or more classmates and you referred substantially. You've read their post and you've responded to their post based on your understanding and reading of the material and on what you think their understanding and reading of the material is. Okay, that's substantial. Not just I really agree with you or great point. That's not a substantial post. You get half a point if you respond to 1 classmate or me in a substantial way, or 2 point or half a point. I mean, if and you get 0 points if you don't respond to either me or classmates' posts, or your responses are just 1-sentence responses or sentence fragments. Okay. So possible 3 out of 4 points for initial response to posts and updates. 3 points means you've comprehensively answered the question. 2 out of 3 points, your work is sufficient, but you've left out some key concepts. 1 out of 3 points means your work is kind of just perfunctory. You've only provided a minimum response. And 0 means you've not addressed a question in the initial post at all. I do assign decimal points. Okay. So we're back. Let's click back here. Go to week 1. So that's a discussion post, and we'll look at it. We're going to be doing your first discussion is kind of a straightforward and fun one. You're introducing yourself. The next sort of grading template we have is for a paper, and beginning with assignment 3, and you can see where they're located throughout the course. You have short paper grading templates, right? This particular one I have is on I have it on Excel, and let's take a minute and read through that. Okay. If what we have here is 0 points, you've completed no work. 1 point, your work is minimal. Okay, like kind of equivalent to a D, right? There's substantial grammatical and spelling errors. I do expect spelling and grammar to be correct. We are in an upper level class. You've begun to address the fundamental points of the question, but you haven't sufficiently provided a comprehensive explanation. 3 points, you've done an adequate job of addressing the question. There's evidence you've read the work and you put some thought into your answer, but it's not a comprehensive assessment. 5 points, you've done an excellent to superior job of explaining your answer to the discussion question. Provide examples and, when appropriate, use tables to describe numerical data. There are few or no grammatical errors here. Let's see, go here. Yeah. What I mean by a table is there are certain times when there's a lot of numerical data. Occasionally, it's going to benefit you to construct a table. I'd review that in Word, how to do that, and embed the table in your text, and then and discuss it. You'll see where that is, and if you have any question about when that might be appropriate, please contact me. Okay, so we're back here.